Welcome to my latest minimum percent run of the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Our goal is to complete the game with the lowest possible completion percentage. In this case, we are getting the paraglider. I'm not good enough as yet to not get the paraglider. Start the game, we jump down, we're here on the Great Sky Island, and immediately go over to the snowy area because we can pick up the battery over here instead of the usual location high up. This way we're going to skip some of the caves and we're going to take a slightly different route influenced by one of my subscribers, GlobalTrance. Someone are connected on Reddit, and let's see where we go. Once I complete the Ascent Shrine, I head back and I do both the Fuse and the Ultra Hand Shrines, taking the normal path back towards the Ascent Shrine because that's going to be the safest and easiest way to get back to the Temple of Time. I need to avoid all the caves on the Great Sky Island, so I use this hover platform with a fan on the bottom of it to get myself up to the snowy area, and then I can just walk over to the area where the Ascent Shrine was, grab a wing and head straight over to the Temple of Time. We'll then try to open the door, go back and do recall, open the door to the Temple of Time, place a Master Sword and jump down to Hyrule Kingdom. I want to land in this specific area because I can get stamina for Bass, and I'm going to need the stamina food for the fights that are to come. And then we're going to hunt some of the Bokos that are around. Need to get horns and any sort of parts that I can trade for rupees. Obviously we have no money as yet. And I'm going to need to buy some clothes and buy some arrows. Now we head to Lookout Landing. We buy our Hylian set and then we buy some arrows from mobs and we get cracking. Talk to the soldier over here and grab a royal broadsword, a knight's broadsword, and the soldier's sword. Quickly speak to Pura and grab the paraglider. Head back to Great Sky Island to the Fuse Shrine to grab some of the fire fruit that have respawned. And I forgot the stick. I'm going to need this stick for when we head to the depths. And then we go back to the Recall Shrine, ascend above it, and grab the 3 wings that are in the chest here. Again, I cannot go to Zone I Dispenser, so I cannot get wings, flame emitters, pots, etc. After grabbing the wing, I dive down, go back to this pot area that's on the way to the snowy area, and I'm going to sleep here until morning so that I can go to Lookout Landing, and mobs now has more arrows that I can buy. We go around Hyrule Castle Town ruined so that we don't trigger a completion percentage. We float across the moat, pop here and pick up the traveler's bow that's in the chest, and now I can use that bow and get it destroyed. We jump down, run past the shock lights, run past the Horriblins that are there and focus on killing these electric Keese first, and then we'll go back and deal with the Horriblins. Now that we've killed the Keese eyeballs are going to be crucial for the Queen Gibdo fight later on, and we're going to fuse one of the electric Keese wings to this stick so that I can use it on our Horriblin friends over here. Two of these Horriblins carry knight's weapons, and so I want to get those. These are going to be very important as well. During the fight, knight's weapons have the Desperate Strength perk, and that means that on your last heart, they're doing double damage. run away from the remaining Horriblins. We're going to have a white main Lynel here. I do not want to fight him right now. I want to stun him, quickly run under this platform and ascend. And I have to keep moving because once he fires his arrows, it does not matter if you have cover, the arrows will go through the roof and come down and hit you. No matter where you hide, they will hit you, so you have to keep moving. I killed a few of the ice keys on the way here. I avoided the ice likes and just rushed through, and we used the wings from the ice keys to freeze the silver Lizalfos and then repeatedly smash him. And that's the same way that I'd killed the black Lizalfos, and I'd fused it to one of my swords while the silver Lizalfos was frozen. I get his royal bow, pick up a mighty zonite shield, fuse a hydrant to it, and then we have two choo-choos to kill here. I'm going to keep pushing forward because I want to get to the silver Bokoblin, kill the Gibdos, and then I'm going to double back to the white main Lynel once I have stronger weapons. I don't want to drop down in this gap because there are gloom hands down there, gloom spawn, and I have no interest in fighting them. We're going to build a little plane using the rocket at 45 degrees to give us a nice lift off. Use the ice keys eyeballs. Just fire one. I'm using a basic bow because I'm not interested in wasting durability on the stronger bows. I have no intention of killing the silver Moblin right now. I just want to get across, and I'm going to use a mighty zonite sword that was fused to the cannon that I found where the shield was, and I'm going to use that to break the wall and get the 10 bombs. So I just knocked the Moblin down because if he unfreezes, he's going to shoot fire arrows at me from his bow. Now we grab the bombs and we're going to head to the silver Bokoblin and the room with the Gibdos, then double back to the Lynel after making one more pit stop at mobs in Lookout Landing to get more arrows. By stocking up on arrows with mobs, I have less pressure to keep the Bokoblins alive during the army fight, and I will have more enough arrows to finish the fight. We head back down to the depths. Most of the enemies are still dead, and so we can now easily get to the Lynel. And I purposely go down to 1 heart, so I stand in gloom, take the damage until I'm at 1 heart, so that I can use a knight's broadsword, the one we picked up in Lookout Landing earlier, fuse the silver Bokoblin horn, and then fight the Lynel. The white main Lynel is now dead. I pick up the parts that are useful. I don't need the gut. I do want the hose. Obviously we want the bow. We do want the royal broadsword and both the horns. And then we can move forward to deal with the ice likes and the few ice keys that are remaining before we head down. I use fire fruit to down the ice likes and then switch to the savage Lynel bow using 1 hoof to kill it. The hoof is going to one-shot the ice like, so it's very easy to deal with them. I drop chests. Usually the chests have a shield in there, and so it gives me an opportunity to swap out to a stronger shield. We got the shield, and I decided to drop my flame emitter shield that I had been holding on to from the snowy area in Great Sky Island. We go across to the silver Moblin who's still alive. I killed him, but he fell off the side, and I don't want to jump down and cause the gloom hands to attack me, so I use recall to pick up his royal bow. I then drop a bomb and fuse it to the shield. I do that for the second shield as well, and then we jump down to the army. We're going to be using a bomb shield at the start of most of these mob fights. I start the Bokoblin fight with a rocket shield though, because I want to get as high as possible. I'm going to be using bomb flowers because these guys are a nuisance. I want to keep at least 2 of them alive because I should drop 20 arrows each, but we need to whittle down the numbers as quickly as possible. So while I'm in bullet time and I run out of stamina, I'm going to eat stamina food. That's why the stamina bash was important. And then using one of the ice-like stones fused to a knight's halberd. I'm down to 1 heart. I'm purposely not healing because I want the double damage. The red Bokoblins are 1-hit kills at this point. The blue Bokoblins require 2 hits, and I need to make sure that I'm freezing the most dangerous enemies, the black ones. We kill the 2 archer Bokoblins that were kept alive and make sure that we pick up the arrows that they're providing to us. So 20 arrows apiece. That's another 40 arrows that we've just collected. The Lizalfos will drop some as well, and so we definitely have more than enough arrows to get through the army sequence. I decided not to waste durability on the boss Boko, and so we just push him to the edge and we're going to knock him down, saving us a little bit of durability on the weapons. I had to freeze him again because I had taken too long to push him off. Now that is off, we're going to make sure that we get set up with our bomb shield for the Lizalfos, and then I'm prepared for a bomb fuse when I do get up into the air. The Lizalfos will drop at least 1 royal halberd, usually 2, and I want to fuse that halberd to my soldier's sword because soldier's swords give you quick charge for your spin attack, and I need it to be much longer to use it in the Siege construct fight. I don't need to do a bomb shield jump to deal with the Gibdos. There's one that spawns behind you, so you shoot the flying Gibdo. It's 1 shot with a 5 fruit and a royal bow, and then we focus on the crawlers. I want to mainly get Gibdo wings for use against Colgera in case I run out of Keese wings. But obviously the Gibdo bones are also going to be very useful, mainly in the Queen Gibdo fight. Are the final wave before the boss rush, so we do a bomb shield jump, jumping straight down and going up, take out the Moblins on the left, and then focus on slowing down this black Moblin by freezing him, allowing us to now more easily take out the rest of the weaker enemies. It's now time for Colgera, the first boss. The Colgera's health does not change at all in the game. It doesn't matter if you fight it on the surface, in the depths. Here at the boss rush is the same health, so it's very simple and I'm not wasting any time. Marble Gohma has 2000 HP in this fight. That is the same health as if it was being refought in the depths, or if it was a 4th boss that you were fighting on the surface. I stand in gloom to get my health down, so I'm now at 1 heart. I'm going to be using a nice halberd fused to the white male Lynel horn, and this way desperate strength is active, so I'm doing double damage. This should easily get to phase 2. I want to keep Desperate Strength active going into the Mucktorok fight, and then I will heal going into the Queen Gibdo fight. Next up is a Mucktorok, that little enemy who runs around and annoys all of us. There is no low gravity here, so it's hard for you to jump over some of his attacks. I am using the Zonite shield, the mighty Zonite shield we picked up on the way down here. That's fused to a hydrant. That is my backup protection. We have one opal that I dropped earlier. I fused that to a royal broadsword, but I'm mainly going to just shoot choo-choo from my bow fused to the arrow. Mucktorok's health is 1950 HP, and that is 900 less than when you refight him in the depths. So this is an easier fight. Again, same health as if he was the 4th boss that you were fighting if you did the temples. Mucktorok goes down easy, so we move on to the Queen Gibdo fight. This is where these electric Keese eyeballs are going to be crucial in bringing her down and stunning her. 3-shot bow, so we're using the Savage Lynel bow, getting her down, and whenever she does that attack, it's going to be going directly to you, so you can just run perpendicular to it after that. So wait for her to send out the tornadoes, then move perpendicular. Have her down, and now I'm going to use the Gibdo bones to get her down to half health and move to phase 2. Her health in the boss rush is 3178 HP. When you refight her in the depths, it's 2800, so this is a little bit harder. Again, this is just like she had health as the 4th boss that you had fought on the surface if you did the temples. This time I decided to try and finish it quickly instead of taking out the mushroom towers. This means that I also am going to have a lot of Gibdo running around crawling. Very dangerous. Next up is the Siege construct. In this version of the fight, there is no gloom on the floor. If you fought it in the temple, you would have gloom on the floor. So in this case, the fight is a lot easier. It has a fixed health of 20,000 HP. Doesn't matter when you fight this boss, whether you fight it in the temple or here in the boss rush. There is no refight for the Siege construct. The main mechanic is to spin attack and knock it into the fence after stunning it. This is why I'm using the soldier's sword fused with the royal halberd. The halberd is giving me additional reach. The soldier's sword is allowing me to do a quick spin attack. Since I wasn't able to go to any Zonite dispensers, I can't do my usual approach of fusing a flame emitter to the shield and having the shield do the damage and stun it. So I'm using arrows. Thankfully, we have more than enough elemental arrows. Bantam Ganon is going to be the next wave and the final wave before you have a restart point. So it's very important at this point that I stay alive, because once we get through this, I no longer have to worry about refighting the entire army and the bosses going forward. I use a royal broadsword fused to the silver Lizalfos sword we had earlier. I've saved it specifically for this because flurry rushes allow royal weapons to do double damage. We move on to phase 2 of the Bantam Ganon fight. There's always going to be one Bantam Ganon that goes to the center and starts spreading gloom. So my biggest priority is to make sure that I stop the gloom from spreading. My second priority is to not kill them too quickly. I want them to switch weapons and pull out the Gloom Club, because that will do the most damage out of all the weapons they're going to drop. We've now completed the boss rush and the army fight, which means we have a restart point. Number one priority now is to find at least one Gloom Club and fuse it to the Royal Broadsword that I still have that's not been used. There's still going to be Zonite parts lying around from the Siege construct fight. They don't despawn for some reason. I guess there's not enough items on the floor to hit the 21 item limit. But we get 2 Gloom Clubs in this case. Unfortunately, the durability is horrible when it is fused to an item, but at least it's going to give me extra damage as I go in. I also picked up a Gloom Sword as a failsafe. Gloom weapons, yes, they will damage one of your hearts each time you use it. However, once you're down to 1 heart, Gloom weapons do not do any more damage. So in case I get down to 1 heart, I will use the Gloom weapon rather than the Knight's broadsword. I take some damage during phase 2 of the fight, and I decide to use a Gloom Sword fused to a white-nailed Lynel saber horn. With the Gloom Sword about to break, I switch to my strongest current weapon, which is a Knight's Broadsword fused to the Silver Boko Horn, and that's giving me desperate strength because I'm still on 1 heart, chosen not to heal, and we get him down. The final phase against the dragon is not special, it's very academic, so I skip over showing the exact fight and just want to focus now on getting to showing what the percentage completion is. In future runs where I do this without a paraglider, then I will definitely show how I accomplish the dragon fight.